1985, a select group of American martial artists were invited by the Beijing Wu Shu Team to the People's Republic of China to demonstrate at the first International Wushu Championships in the city of Xian in central China. Wushu is the state-sponsored standardization of traditional martial arts forms. The group was assembled by Brendon of San Francisco in association with George Shu of Shanghai. It was representative from the aspects of age, sex, race, skill level, and styles performed. Members of the group came from the martial arts disciplines of Jiujitsu, Tai Kwon Do, Kuen Do, Japanese karate, and the kung fu systems of Larn Su, Seven-Star Praying Mantis, and Hung Gar. The team traveled to the northern Shaolin Temple in Honan Province and to the cities of Beijing, Shanghai, and Xian. Throughout their trip, they participated in demonstrations and discussions, the purpose of which was to increase their understanding of the martial arts in Chinese culture and to take the rare opportunities to meet with sifus, as well as the most famous living masters, China's living treasures.
I feel it was a great honor to be chosen on the team to represent the United States, and it would have been one of my dreams anyway to go to China, seeing the Great Wall and the martial arts. And I think that, especially our sponsor was the Beijing Wu Shu Club, the best in the world. So our treatment was really good.
You know what? I think that highlighted this more so than anything else. It's just that we never went there as tourists. We was an elite group that went there. So I think the doors were more open to us. We saw more things, which is, like I said, astounding. It's not going to be replaced.
As I reflect back over our trip through China, I'm really appreciative to be part of the, to be chosen as part of the United States Martial Art Representative Team, to be a part of the communication that has been increased through peoples of different lands.
I find that the martial arts was a great vehicle to get that across. Experience on the whole, we learned a lot from them, as well as they got a chance to see what Americans was all about. And it kind of brought back everything where we actually came from in the martial arts. It just going right back to say, mother womb.
And as Wally was stating that one of his highlights was the health aspects of the...
Yes, I like the Tai Chi movement in China, especially among the older people. It's a national movement that millions of people do it. I'm really amazed.
Yeah, millions, like
is it 100 million?
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that. 100 million people up at 5 o'clock in the morning, united in one exercise. I mean, you imagine the discipline, the health benefits, the unity. Our overall, one of the overall purpose was the documentation. That, I think, is so unique to be able to be a part of the recording of these different masters, of these different styles. We must have been able to meet and exchange with over 40 great masters, direct descendants of the founders and inventors of these arts. And to be able to document this was very important.
Yeah, like in Shanghai, we saw, I think it was Fu Sifu. He had 3 generations. Himself, his son, and his grandson. What really amazed me was seeing the people doing Tai Chi early in the morning. Many of them in groups or individually, but no one is concerned with whether they made a mistake or not.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that way?
Right. In other words, you're meaning like not caring, like what an onlooker or passerby is thinking. They were into their own thing. If they made a mistake, fine, or not fine. They were in it for their self-health. It wasn't like you can even watch an aerobics class here, and people are so concerned about what everybody else around is thinking.
Or what they wear.
Right. I've seen overweight people, they don't want to work out or go to these classes or attend classes because they're so worried about what other people think. So they constantly get out farther and farther away from health and farther out of shape. But there was no concern of what the onlookers were thinking.
What I felt was they were thinking about it, saying, I'm doing it for myself, not for you. So
That's a real good philosophy on that, because I think that what the West world has, I think we're going in reverse. I would believe that from where they came from, development of the inner peace came first, and the health, and if martial arts even came in third or fourth, that was fine. But here in the United States, or I guess in the West world, a lot of us tend to put the martial arts or self-defense as first, and then maybe health, and then the inner peace. Watching them do the Tai Chi and having the strict discipline to come up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do that, I think it was more inner peace and stress releasing. I think if we did that here more in the United States, I think we wouldn't be having the type of crimes maybe, or the type of problems that we do have here.
Definitely seems to be an effect of longevity. These people were, you know, in their 80s and 90s, exercising like they were teenagers, and they were doing this on a daily basis. And see, when you say martial art, the Western world tends to think of fighting, kicking and punching or hurting somebody. But when we say martial art, it's good to note that we're not talking about the violence. We're talking about what martial arts does for you, the exercise, the internal energy, the internal peace that it gives, the relaxation.
Tiananmen Square. It was here, at the Gate of Heavenly Peace, across from the Forbidden City in which the Imperial Palace was located, that Chairman Mao proclaimed the founding of the People's Republic of China on October 1st, 1949. This is one of the largest squares in the world and can accommodate 500,000 people. The square is now flanked by the Great Hall of the People on the east and the Museum of Chinese History and Revolution on the west, and Mao's mausoleum to the south. The team traveled 50 miles from Beijing, north to what the Chinese call the 10,000 Li Wall. The Great Wall is more than 3,600 miles long. It was begun in the 5th century BC during the Warring States period in order to protect the large central cities from being plundered by nomadic northern tribes living beyond the mountain range. The wall is 28 feet high and 18 feet wide. There are watchtowers built at 100-yard intervals. These towers were used as a source of communication. Signals would be transmitted from tower to tower by means of coded flags or bonfires.
This is something that I really look forward to, and this is a chance in my lifetime. Being in the martial arts brought me to China.
When the team returned to Beijing, they were greeted by their hosts, the Beijing Wu Shu Team, which is the most famous of all the Wushu teams in China. The noise in the background is a sound that the team members became accustomed to on their trip through China. They were amazed at the volume the cicadas generated. Here, for our enjoyment, some of the members performed their individual specialties. Wushu is a term that was introduced in the new China for all martial arts, including many styles already known in the West, such as Tai Chi Chuan, Shaolin boxing, White Crane, Praying Mantis Kung Fu, and Xing Yi, 5-element boxing.
First, let me bid you a warm welcome from the Beijing Wu Shu School. This martial arts activities, we have built up friendship between the peoples from all over the world.
We've heard a lot about the Beijing Wu Shu Team, about the best in the world.
The following display of martial arts by the Wushu team is an exhibition of koan, or form, a display of martial arts skills using imaginary opponents to physically and mentally train yourself.
Thank you for the warm, hearty welcome.
Practically all the martial arts styles use koan as a daily exercise, using empty hand or long and short weapons.
Next, we will start our exchange program in which both teams will participate in performance.
This is Master Zong Kai, a 60-year-old Beijing Sifu, demonstrating the big spear. This 20-foot-long spear is used only for power training and not considered for practical application. The synonym for wushu is also swordsmanship without intent to cut. Weapon training is an important part of wushu. Some of the weapons used are the rope dart, the long pole, double hooks, spear, 9-section whip, and various different sword forms. Many of the weapons evolved from simple peasant farm tools. The following demonstration by members of the Beijing Wu Shu Team is some of the finest examples of wushu in the world. Because the Beijing Wu Shu Team is the #1 team in China, it has toured extensively internationally. They have given performances in the United States, in Europe, in South America, and in Asia. All the performers in the Beijing Wu Shu Team have won gold medals in China for their particular performances in their individual styles. They pride themselves on split-second timing and precision movement. A member of the U.S. team is Sifu John Leong from Seattle, Washington, demonstrating the Southern Shaolin style Hung Gar. The Hung Gar style is the most popular style in southern China and is known for its close infighting technique. The Chinese martial arts are divided into hard and soft styles. Hung Gar would be considered a hard system. This is Ge Chen Yin, a coach of the Beijing Wu Shu Team. We were proud to have this attractive 26-year-old lady as our personal hostess. In 1984, she won gold medals in the long and short weapons category, as well as the open hand forms. She also won the overall women's competition for all of China. Her specialty is Chen Tai Chi. Although recently she has starred in several kung fu movies made in mainland China, she still finds time to attend the university in Beijing. Her teacher, Master Fang, looks on.
Each style has its own characteristic.
Master Lu Chen Chen is the president of the Jing Wu Association in Beijing. This northern style kung fu system places a heavy emphasis on kicking. Its name translated into English means kicking the leg. Another member of the U.S. team is Sifu Shu Guo Ming, a native of Shanghai. He's also a writer for the All-Chinese Martial Art magazine. He served as executive advisor to the United States group and coordinated all the meetings that we had with the famous Sifus of China. Mr. Shu is demonstrating a unique northern style kung fu called Lan Zu. This system is only practiced in 2 places in China: the city of Shanghai and Tianjin. Lu Jingming is the gold medalist winner in the 9-section steel whip that we see him demonstrating here. Professor Wally Jay, the captain of the United States representative team, holds a 9th-degree red belt in the Jiujitsu system of Japan, and is famous in that system for his innovation of the small circle Jiujitsu technique. The implementation of this technique enables the practitioner to use a small amount of force to control the opponent's body through joint locking techniques. These techniques are extremely painful and the size of the opponent is of no concern to the practitioner of this system. The Chinese were especially impressed by Professor Wally Jay and his display of this method of self-defense. It related to a similar system in China called Qian.
And the Chen style abbreviated form, the Chen style abbreviated Tai Chi form. Let us give him our real appreciation. Master Fu apologizes that he did not bring the performing uniforms, but I don't think that we need to see his uniforms to know that he is really a master. Let us again give him a very warm applause.
Master Fong is the president of the Beijing Chen Style Tai Chi Association. He was a student of Chen Fa Kuo, a famous master of the Chen Tai Chi family. We were ecstatic about meeting firsthand these masters who were so close to the founders of these systems. It was like stepping into history. Mr. Fong has practiced 4 hours a day for over 40 years. In his early 60s, he is living evidence of the positive health effects of Tai Chi Chuan. As you can see, the Wushu practitioners rely on precise timing and excellent coordination in the display of weapons. Another one of the members of the American team, Master So Si Cho of Florida, demonstrates a Korean Tae Kwon Do breaking technique.
The team drove south to the beautiful summer palace. In the Garden of Harmonious Unity, Guo Chunyan answered questions about the Wushu program.
Those who are qualified to go to join the team also have to continue to finish their formal education. So it is real tough as far as I can imagine. Finishing the regular school, and after work, after school, they couldn't have any more activities. The activities are Wushu training. 大概要每一天训练多少时间? How many minutes or how many hours do they train? That's the question.
在短训期间呢，就是大概就是2个小时。
2 hours for short term during the short term training session.
长训期间呢，就是每天加起来早操还有上午的训练，一共大概3个小时。
The long term training about 3 hours per day.
Are the Wushu members allowed to innovate or to choreograph, or is that only the coaches?
Now remember, every person has been extremely experienced already. We have to understand that basic first, right? He is already an expert in his own field. And then based on his past experience, he continued to improvise, change, and choreograph a new step. Each person has to be creative.
Oh, he has to be
creative. If he's not creative, he has no place in his own team to take that status.
The garden was restored at great cost by the Empress Dowager Shi, with funds appropriated from taxes levied to establish the Royal Navy. The Empress Dowager was hated by all of her people. One of the marvels of the Summer Palace is the longest continuous corridor in the world. It is a covered promenade measuring 787 yards. Today, the garden is a national treasure, and all the people of China are able to appreciate and visit this beautiful location. Huangpo River divides Shanghai into two unequal parts. The Huangpo is the main artery of the city, the route by which the life stream flows. Junks, military vessels alike, traverse these muddy waters. Traditionally, the visitor approached this city by way of the Yangtze and Wusong Delta. The Bund is an earth and stone dike, and is the place where many people exercise in the early morning hours. So extensive was the construction that the Shanghai waterfront now bears their name. The Bund is part promenade, part thoroughfare, and part business hub. Prior to 1949, Shanghai was called the Paris of the East and the Whore of Asia. Missionaries declared that if God let Shanghai exist, he owed an apology to Sodom and Gomorrah. Its very name was unsavory. To Shanghai, a person was to rob a person of his freedom. It was the epitome of decadence. Physically, parts of that old Shanghai can still be found, but sociologically, little mark of that dissolute civilization remains in the new republic. The old Shanghai was relatively young compared to the rest of China, coming into flower only at the advent of the 20th century. Even today, change is something readily embraced by the general populace. Shanghai outgrew antiquated traditions rapidly, and for that reason today it is the city most open to foreigners and to change.
The time now is approximately 6 a.m. The city is already moving in full swing. As you walk along the Bund and in other parts of the city, you will see many different styles of Kung Fu displayed by practitioners taking advantage of the early morning fresh air and bright sun. This young boy is doing Follow the Wind and Catch the Moon from the Xing system. You would think that any place where the martial art was widespread, that it might be commonplace, and a practitioner on the street might merely be glanced at as a jogger would in the United States. Not hardly. We were impressed by the many different styles of martial artists that we saw on the street, but we were equally impressed by the local spectators who were not taking this beauty and knowledge for granted and seemed to be enjoying the same as we were some of the energy and charisma that many of these practitioners delivered. All levels of expertise are to be found here. It is not uncommon to collect a crowd or get some more expert advice from a passerby. One unique style we came across was a man with an umbrella who did a form which was more reminiscent of yoga than of a martial arts style. At 86, his flexibility was inspiring. This is Xu Zibing, a 58-year-old coach of the Shanghai Wu Shu Association. He is demonstrating the Tong Bei Tuan. This system is a northern system, which simulates the movements of an ape. Xing, a 55-year-old practitioner of the 7-star praying mantis system. He has practiced for over 44 years. The characteristics of this system are swift changes and concise attacks. Tai Zu Yang is a 61-year-old practitioner demonstrating the Yu family sparring form. There's a tremendous wealth of knowledge in watching this master perform. Not only because he has practiced for over 45 years, this system that was invented by a famous national hero, Yu Fei, in the Song Dynasty, but also because this system is over 600 years old, and Sifu Tai is the only living expert in China today. Wang Qi Zhang is 38 years old and has practiced for over 30 years. He is the sparring coach of the Shanghai Wushu Association. He is demonstrating the Honan Province 6 Harmony Xing system. This system in olden times was only practiced by people of the Muslim faith. So Ming Dai, 41-year-old, has practiced for 20 years. In 1984, he was the push hand champion of all China. He is demonstrating Man Chuan, basic body conditioning exercise. Man Chuan, which means cotton fist, is a rare form, only practiced in China. Sifu Zhou and Wang are demonstrating a form of Chinese freestyle sparring. It is similar in some ways to American-style karate competition. One of the major differences is that in the Chinese form, kicking is allowed to the thigh and below the knee.
The rules are you can't kick to the shin, the leg. You can't hit the arm. You cannot elbow. You can't hit. No, you can for a point to score. No, please.
当这样子的任务好，用做老兵打这一队当中的，就是他需要第一题就学了，这种会需要你当这一队。
He gets points.
我这打了一套绑起来，那么有个一到犯规一点嘞。
Or the judge might, the referee may say,
stop. 就把侬永远不能情况会这样。
we get points here.
所以这个地方得有分，没贴分。
And hit. 1 point, judge stop, give the point, then continue. 1 point, stop, then continue.
The vice captain of the American team, Al Dacascos of Portland, Oregon, spontaneously decided to demonstrate American-style tournament karate for our Chinese friends. Master So-Se Cho of the Tae Kwon Do system volunteered to referee, so they left me to be the fall guy. All in all, it was a lot of fun.
Stop. To the body, 1 point. Go! Stop! Kick to the groin, 1 point.
Leaving this park, the team drove to the Yuan Gardens, the temple of the town god. A zigzag bridge with 9 turns spans a pond at the center of the bazaar. The myth regarding this tortuous construction is that the sharp misdirection confused the evil spirits that might inhabit the land. The public gardens were the pride and joy of the British colonials, but a source of humiliation to the Chinese. A sign at the entry stated, "Dogs in Chinese not allowed." This park was built by a local dignitary in the style of the Imperial Gardens of Beijing. There is a rockery constructed 13 yards high of unique yellowish rock and maple trees. Viewed from a distance, this area looks like faraway mountains and valleys with a pavilion on top. A serpentine dragon surrounds the garden. Carp are called yue in Chinese. The yue are considered to be symbols of vigor, endurance, and power. Children were taught that carp, leaping over waterfalls, would become dragons. They can live to be several hundred years old.
Yuan Chung, 34 years old, has practiced for over 24 years. He is the president of the Shanghai Bagua Institute. He has won the gold medal for the Bagua in the all-Chinese tournament several times. He learned this system from his grandfather, Zhong Yuan Zhao, who was a very well-known fighter in his day and the most prolific writer on Bagua of his time. Tai Zhu Yang is demonstrating the northern Shaolin style of Lan Tzu. He is one of the oldest members of the Shanghai Jing Wu Association. The Jing Wu Association, the oldest traditional Kung Fu academy in all of China. Because Sifu Tai has studied Kung Fu for more than 45 years, he is viewed by the association as a living encyclopedia of the martial arts. He is one of their national treasures.
There is a bazaar outside the Yuan Gate similar to the temple market that flourished in the 19th century. In those days, however, this area was fraught with dangers from gangsters and thieves. Today, people are free to sell their individual wares and to practice free enterprise within the communist system. Tai Chi Chuan is an integral part of the way of life in modern China. The belief is that Tai Chi promotes longevity and mental poise. To understand why it is so unanimously embraced by the Chinese, it is necessary to understand the fundamental principles of life which are embraced by most Chinese people. It is the notion that life is maintained by the balance of two opposite forces, yin and yang, yielding and firm, the dark and lightness, the feminine and the masculine. This principle applies to all things in the world, plant, animal, and man. Another important idea related to the practice of Tai Chi is contained in the concept of Chinese medicine. The Chinese believe that in addition to the circulatory and nervous systems, there exists another system of meridians which carry vital energy to the organs. When this energy is blocked or not running freely, illness ensues. Tai Chi movements harmonize the forces of yin and yang. In man, for example, too much relaxation can bring apathy, and too much tension, disease. Tai Chi also serves a social function. It binds the young and the old together.
This is a scene that was prevalent all over China, and I believe what impressed the United States martial art team the most. To see the young and old join together in a united exercise of help. As instructors, our job is to spread the art among the people. It appeared here that that has truly been done. Sifu Wang Shi Kui demonstrates the Xing style of Tai Chi Chuan. Sifu Wang was the #1 student of the system's inventor, Sun Lu Tung. This system is comprised of 3 different styles and is one of the only synthetic Tai Chi systems. It is composed of Xing Yi, Wu Tai Chi Tuan, and Bagua. At 76 years old, after practicing for more than 60 years, he is considered the standard bearer of Zen-style Tai Chi in Shanghai. At 62 years old, Sifu Hu Han Ping has been practicing Kung Fu for over 53 years. The particular form he is demonstrating is the Wu Sung Tu Kao. A literal translation of this would be Wu Sung breaking his bonds form. Wu Sung was a famous historical national hero of the Xing dynasty. After he was unjustly incarcerated, he developed a system to protect himself in jail when his hands were bound. As you can see, the emphasis of this set is based upon low kicking and foot sweeps. At the end of the set, you will notice he breaks his bonds, so he is free to take revenge upon his opponents. We were invited to China as a martial art representative team of the United States, sort of an exchange program. I don't think that the treasures that we came home with were an equal trade. Being in the presence of these agile and fully energized masters at their retirement age enriched our outlook on our own practice of the martial art. It gave reassurance to us as we grow older, we too, as practitioners of the martial art, might also be a figure of health and vitality. Sifu Jiang Qin Learn is 58 years old. He is demonstrating snake Bagua. Snake-style Bagua is the rare branch of the Bagua system. He is the #1 practitioner of this system in Shanghai. His story is one of many that tells of the health benefit of studying this method of martial art. 25 years ago, Sifu Zhang was diagnosed as having cancer. After undergoing radiation therapy, he was extremely weak. At that time, he made a decision to study the martial arts in earnest. Today, his cancer is in total remission, and as you can see, as a result, he is in extremely good health. Bagua is a longevity exercise that has a myth that it was learned in a dream by an immortal thousands of years ago. A Taoist system, it is based upon circular movements. The movements consist of pivots, turns, circles, and spirals. An old Bagua poem states, "Walk like a dragon, turn like a monkey, change like an eagle." An exercise consists of walking in a circle, doing what they call the 8 palm changes. It is done to increase qi and internal energy flow. Bagua primary strategy is to keep yourself behind your opponent at all times. Long practice will keep the bones supple and elastic as well as promote long life.
This is Sifu Ji Jing Shong, who is 81 years old and has practiced Kung Fu since he was 13. He has taught over 30,000 students, and he is recognized as a master of more than 6 complete Kung Fu systems. Prior to the 1949 revolution, Master Ji was president of the Shanghai Kung Fu Federation. Master Ji is demonstrating a form of the Bagua system.
Grandmaster Sifu Ji will demonstrate the Bagua internal system. And in China, we call it Bagua Mei Wu Xing. It is internal 5 elements.
Grandmaster Ji will take 8 pieces of steel, 3/8 of an inch thick, and strike his body with them to demonstrate his ability to resist attack through his body conditioning. If you consider that Master Ji is 81 years old, this feat is truly remarkable. Master Ma Yu Liang is 86 years old and has practiced the martial arts for over 68 years. He is currently president of the Wu-style Tai Chi Association of Shanghai. Wu-style Tai Chi is the second most popular form practiced in China today. As son-in-law of the inventor of this particular form, he is viewed today throughout China as the leader of the Wu style of Tai Chi. There is a saying in China that if you can understand the rhythm of your opponent, you can fight with anyone. Tai Chi develops the sensitivity to feel the direction of the opponent's energy and direct it in a circular way to avoid attack. Although Tai Chi is normally performed in the slow style, Ji Ma Liang, a student of 6 years of Master Ma, is performing the fast form of Wu-style Tai Chi. She has won the gold medal in China for this fast form in the national Chinese competition. Martial arts applications of the form are clearer when the moves are demonstrated more quickly. Ho Yin Ru demonstrates the rarest form of the major schools of Tai Chi Chuan, which is also called the Wu style. Though it sounds similar to the previous style, it is a totally different system. He focuses on expanding and contracting. Master Fu Song Wen is 80 years old and the nephew of Yang Chang Po, a very famous Yang-style Tai Chi master. Yang Chang Po was the grandson of the inventor of Yang-style Tai Chi, Yang Lu Chan. This is the most popular form practiced throughout the entire world. Tai Chi Chuan is Taoist in origin. Tai Chi means ultimate. Chuan means fist. Thus the translation for Tai Chi Chuan would be the grand ultimate fist. It and Shaolin are the oldest martial arts forms. The legend has it that Tai Chi was based upon observation of the mortal combat of a crane and a snake. It is the balance of strength and yielding. In Tai Chi, yin and yang energies are placed in perfect balance and harmony. Although Tai Chi Chuan is generally performed very slowly for health benefits, it does have martial arts applications also. Fu Sheng Wen, son of Fu Zhang Wen, briefly demonstrates some of the exercises for the issuing of power. In China, knowledge of the martial arts is viewed as a family treasure. It is passed from generation to generation. Fu Zhang Wen demonstrates pushing hands with his grandson. If his grandson studies diligently, he may have the opportunity of becoming the 6th generation of the family to teach Tai Chi Chuan.
顾老师，我们谢谢你。Thank you. The second, 师傅 held the Dacascos to present to Master Ma, 马师傅，马老师。Master Cho.
As the morning grew older and the demonstrations came to an end, the team began to realize how rare this event was. Never before had so many prominent masters agreed to demonstrate their skills so unguardedly in front of a camera, especially for the benefit of foreigners. The team was indeed honored to have these eminent octogenarians demonstrate their skills for them.
I didn't get the name.
The team was given the opportunity to present the masters and their aides with a small token of appreciation. This was an experience to be treasured and one that will always be remembered.
Wednesday I will present to the lady, okay? 谢谢你 ，OK。我代表美国的代表人上各位。
The Jing Wu Association was founded in 1909 by Honan Jia. It was the first formal Kung Fu academy established in China. By 1940, they had established 42 branches throughout Asia, and their membership exceeded 400,000. There are 347 different forms taught at the academy to students, whose ages range from 4 years old to 80. The primary function of the academy is to train expert teachers who, after they graduate, will travel throughout China to propagate Kung Fu. Today, Western wrestling, boxing, judo, and bodybuilding, in addition to traditional Kung Fu forms, are also taught. One of the students, Choi Jing, demonstrates the 9-section steel whip. He is 16 years old and has practiced for 3 years. This eager young man, Zhang Zhu Fen, is 8 years old and has only practiced Kung Fu for 6 months. He is demonstrating the eagle claw. A member of the American team from Seattle, Washington, is Sifu John Leung. The word Sifu means teacher or master instructor. He is demonstrating the internal aspects of the Southern Shaolin Hungar system. One of the purposes of the Hungar exercise is to increase stability and internal power. This 20-year-old student is Shi Lu Yong. He's practiced for 12 years, and he's performing a sword set from the Drunken system, a very unusual and unique style. The Drunken system uses several weapons as well as open hand forms. This particular set is the double-edged sword. He fakes drunkenness to take advantage of body positioning to avoid attack. The drunkard's supple and agile movements are actually dodges and feints in order to avoid the strike of the opponent. One of the major aspects of this style is to appear vulnerable, as if you were open, luring your opponent in for an attack of your own. Watching this young man perform, you can see why this style is not readily practiced by the older martial artists. They choose to leave this form of self-inflicted torture to the young. As part of the exchange program, Al Dacascos and Bill Owens took this opportunity to demonstrate Arnis, the stick fighting technique of the Philippines. Ho Bing Tuan demonstrates Chen-style Tai Chi. He's 61 years old and a respected member of the Jing Wu Association. He is the secretary and one of the coaches of the Shanghai Wushu sparring team. He is known for his ability to issue internal power in fighting situations. Observe his charismatic delivery at the point of energy release. Brendon Lai of San Francisco, Secretary of the United States Martial Arts Representative Team, demonstrates the 7-star praying mantis system. The 7-star praying mantis system was invented over 300 years ago by Wang Long in the Shanghai Province. In Kung Fu, many systems are based upon observations in nature. The story of the 7-star praying mantis system is that the founder, Wang Long, observed a fight between a praying mantis and a cicada. By watching the praying mantis, he developed this unique martial arts style. At the end of the exchange program, the team posed with the students and masters for several individual snapshots, as well as this large group photo.
Martial arts help bring people together and strengthen our ties of friendship between two countries.
武术是一种能够把世界人们的友谊认识起来的活动。今天又有了一个新的进程。
We will always treasure your entire life, the fond memories that you have left with us.
美国武术代表团会把这个友谊带回美国去。
Before departing Shanghai, we were again honored with an elaborate and delicious banquet. Through translators, we had the opportunity to exchange ideas and ask questions of the distinguished sifus. When the birthday of George Shu, our executive advisor, was mentioned, he was happily toasted. And to our surprise, Happy Birthday was sung by the Chinese in English. As we left, we couldn't help reflect on the importance of exercise in the maintenance of good health, which seems to permeate the Chinese culture. We also felt fortunate to have had the opportunity to interact with over 40 sifus, some even grandmasters of their particular systems in our short 3-day stay. We observed people of both sexes spanning 4 generations that exhibited tremendous drive in their dedication to the perfection of their martial arts skill. As we traveled to the interior of China, to the city of Xian, we looked forward with anticipation to the upcoming tournament and backwards to Shanghai for such an unforgettable experience.
Xian, a 3,000-year-old walled city with a richly woven history, as rich as the silk trade which made it capital to 11 dynasties. During the Tang Dynasty, it was the center of commerce, culture, and politics. The current population is 2.5 million people, and it is the capital of the Shanghai Province, situated on the Weihai Plain. Xian was the center of culture along the Silk Route and was visited by Marco Polo. Everywhere in China, one finds people exercising early in the morning at dawn. Revolution Park in Xian was no exception. At 5:30, we watched people practicing sword, seniors practicing Tai Chi, and one of the most interesting phenomena that we witnessed in China. In the United States, we walk our dogs. In China, they walk their songbirds. The custom of bringing birds to the park to learn new songs has gone on for over 1,000 years. There are even competitions and awards given for birds with the most beautiful songs. The family is the primary unit in Chinese society. Chinese culture has always revolved around the extended family unit. Today, due to the population explosion, China has a one-child per family policy. As in all cultures, children are precious. But in China, because of this limit, the children seem to be the treasure of society. Leaving Revolution Park, the team headed for the bell tower, which is the center of the city. They noticed how all the streets were wet, sprayed down by water trucks. They found out later that Xian has the unique distinction of having over 10,000 tons of dust fall on it every day, a result of the combination of fine soil and the winds blowing off the Weihai Plain. The city looks like it is in a perpetual haze, like smog, but it is really the diffusion of the dust particles. At the south gate of Xian, people of all ages were exercising. Parks in China are social gathering places for people of all ages. A place to meet, play mahjong with friends, or walk your baby. In China, the young are precious and the old are revered. Two of the more interesting practitioners were Sifus we had already met in Beijing. They were in Xi'an to demonstrate at the first International Wushu Championships. Master Zhang Kai is demonstrating the Shaolin six-harmony fist method. You may recall Master Zhang demonstrating the big spear earlier. This is Master Lo Chan Chin performing the Chu Jiao style. He is the president of this system's association in Beijing. His movements simulate the monkey.
George Shu arranged an unusual luncheon with the Zhejiang Province Qigong team. Qigong is a form of martial arts as practiced in China that has two primary aspects. It is practiced internally and externally. In the external mode, Qigong is used for resisting attack or making the body impervious to strikes. Internal Qigong is used to cure disease. Any practitioners can extend their qi from their body to move things or to cause some kind of effect without making any physical contact.
He said some gesture of Xing system are not good looking, but ugly looking. For example, the gesture of a bear, he did it just like this. So it doesn't good looking at all, but it has its practical way, practical usage.
George Shu demonstrates with one of his students, Michael Dorgan, some of the practical applications of the Xingyi movements.
Come on, man.
Grandmaster Li Qing San also demonstrates how the body may be used to strike another opponent. The head, the hip, as well as the hands and feet are all potential weapons with which to strike another. Because of a firm stance and the ability, brought about by years of training, to move all parts of the body in unison, a small movement of the arm can issue a great force.
Qigong.
And they have
the external Qigong is also called hard Qigong. And the internal Qigong is called soft Qigong. And people sometimes use internal Qigong to cure disease of the patients. No matter what kind of system, either Qigong or Kung Fu, you must use your Qi. From the Dantian, a point which is located below the navel, it's called the navel, below the navel. And people often burst their power from here. So you must send your Qi to this point. Then you can burst out your power properly and completely.
我们向各位老师学习。
为我们的友谊，因为我们要很多向你们学习。
We would like to take the opportunity to learn from all of you.
I think we're the ones who want to learn from them.
他说，应当是我们向各位老师学习。
客气了，客气了。为我们的友谊，我们干杯。
Toast to our friendship. 干杯。Shows Master Liu being supported by a 3-point fork. Before the Qigong is a gong pertaining to the flowing energy. And Yin Gong is the gong pertaining to the external strength of the body.
Asking, like he has calluses here like this. Is it considered bad for your health in old age? They say you develop arthritis around these things.
As you can see, the arthritis on the hands, and I'm going to ask that question. 李老师，他要问你，现在他看见你有这个手掌啊，手背上面这个疙瘩哈，种种的一个，他说是不是对身体的健康啊有害呢，还是没害？
没害。
There's nothing no effect.
强壮筋骨，有劲啊。
就是怎么产生的大爆。The calluses were formed as a result of constant striking against sandbags.
Qigong trains the use of your internal physical and mental energy. A mental, physical, and sometimes spiritual direction of energy flow possessed by all people. By learning how to use your Qi, one is able to increase his energy to perform a task that might otherwise be impossible. Qigong is the study of this type of energy.
You can see the length of the sword reaches his belly button. And now Master Liu is swallowing this metal-made sword without hurting himself. From this experiment, we know that Master Qi's digestive system is extremely straight. Unlike ours that is crooked and winding. To perform this special technique, it requires the internal Qigong. To use the Yin Qigong is going to perform. Yin means heart. The heart Gong.
运上一直拳，这
hit him. Harder. He's asking you to keep the hell out of him.
难了。现在就高腰了。
Master Liu is going to hit his head with the ball.
After lunch, we all drove to the top of the wall that surrounded the great city of Xian for further demonstrations. Master Lu is demonstrating his ability to project his chi from beyond his body.
It's cool? Well, no, not warm either.
So just feeling like electric.
就跟它量就行了。
你看过来好像
像这样，这个just like you put your hand here in iron, you know, hot iron.
那个 iron?
这个上去啊。
Now it's moving?
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the shoots of air over here. You know, you can feel the air or something like that. Bombarding.
Like air drive.
Yeah. It's moving. Yeah. He moved.
Li Qinshan is a master of Xing from the Zhejiang province. He is explaining what the 6 harmonies mean in this Xing system and demonstrating the short form. Using one of the bricks from the wall, Master Cho demonstrates Tai Kwon Do breaking technique while wearing only street shoes and using no special equipment. Sifu Ji Da Ming explains to our executive advisor, Guo Ming, that he was taught the turtle system by a very old master in his province just before he died. As you can see by watching his student, this form demands rigorous body conditioning. Even at 87 years old, this old man was able to demonstrate his internal kung fu by breaking a stool over his head. He practices what is called the beggar-style kung fu, which conditions people for a life of hardship and deprivation.
On this citadel, where children now perform mock battles with their kung fu brothers, cavalry used to ride, 6 abreast. It was built for protection against marauding bands of Mongols from the north. The Shaanxi Province Acrobatic School was kind enough to allow Wally Jay and his assistant Jim Sylvan to use the facility to practice Professor Jay's unique form of small circle jiu-jitsu for the upcoming demonstration in the International Wushu Invitational Tournament.
It's right here. 1 inch from the point of elbow. Always attack there. Right here. Up again. So the confrontation. Go down there, right? See? Push him away. It's very important right here, see? Oh, a lot of people do the whole hand, but they don't get the essence of it. The essence is right here. You see my palm? I push up. But you can do it this way. Don't hurt too much to it. That's where the pains will begin right here in the end. And then from here I can switch to this one. It's punishing, bro. Just a little bit of this. That's all the need, or I come from this angle.
Since few individuals own cars in China, the bicycle is the primary mode of transportation. The exterior of the Wushu Stadium where the tournament was held was no exception. This certainly cuts down on traffic jams and fatal accidents, but can you imagine your headache when trying to locate your bike in the parking lot after this event? In 1984, Wushu organizations from 16 countries and regions gathered in October in the city of Wuhan to establish a World Wushu Federation and to direct its worldwide development and recognition. More than 100 Wushu stylists from all over the world represented 16 countries: Australia, Britain, Canada and China, France, Hong Kong, Japan, Macau, Morocco, the Philippines, Singapore and Spain, Thailand and the United States. At a 3-day international conference, a preparatory committee was formed for the International Wushu Federation, the world's first international Wushu organization. It was determined that the Chinese Wushu organization would organize a major international invitational event to be held in August of 1985. When the 4-day event was announced, 64,000 tickets were sold out immediately. The event was underwritten by the Chinese government, the first ever to be officially sponsored. Wushu in China has been regarded as a national treasure, and the Chinese have tried to internationalize it for 50 years. It is the government's hope that Wushu will eventually become an Olympic event. They considered the acceptance of judo in the Olympics a hopeful sign that Wushu would eventually be considered. Problems to be dealt with for the first time revolved around the standardization of scoring and the recognition of the numerous styles. The first international Wushu was a mixture of competition and demonstration. The division for competition was open to those who could compete according to modified rules. The division of demonstration, in which the U.S. team participated, was established for those whose performance would not be judged. The U.S. team received an extremely warm response from the crowd at the international tournament. The next day, they set off for the Shaolin Temple. While traveling through the heart of China, the translator explained the myth of the birth of the Chinese people. It is believed that the birthplace of the Yellow Man is the point where the Yellow River and the Yellow Earth converge. This could be viewed as the Mesopotamia of the Chinese civilization. It is called the Cradle of China. Driving to the Shaolin Temple in the Sungshan Mountains, they observed villages that have changed very little in the past 2,000 years. On the road to the temple, members of the U.S. martial arts team stop at a country town to have lunch. Their arrival at the restaurant in the town created quite a stir. Many of the people had never seen foreigners before. This restaurant was the best restaurant in town, and they served a delicious combination of fresh vegetables, fish, and chicken. It was the first time the team members were able to experience the country-style cooking of China. They found it to be some of the most delicious Chinese food that they had ever experienced. The people were very warm and open. They allowed the camera crew to tour the kitchen and observe how all the food was prepared. After lunch, the members roamed through the flea market. Here, as in other parts of China, they witnessed that the free enterprise system is coming back. Individuals are allowed to have small businesses of their own and to earn extra money. Arriving at the Shaolin Temple at dawn, the team encountered a whole primary school doing their morning exercises. Unlike the United States, where children in physical education would do calisthenics, these particular pupils were practicing Shaolin Kung Fu. Their instructors were taught by monks of the Shaolin Temple.
As we watched these children train, we became excited with anticipation that this type of program could be implemented at home. As martial artists, we realize that discipline is the foundation of ability, and as Americans, that the future of our country lies in the minds of our children.
After practicing Kung Fu in the morning, the classes would break and run several miles before they began their school day. The Shaolin Temple is located in Honan Province, situated in the Sungshan mountain range. It was built in the Wei dynasty in 495 AD on 100 acres of land donated by Emperor Sui Van Di as an indication of his appreciation of the monks' support of his regime. Part of the monastery was constructed under the direction of the famous Indian monk Damo almost 1,500 years ago. Damo's purpose was to create a center for the spread of the Buddhist religion. He is given credit for being the person who brought Buddhism to China from India. It is the basic tenet of this form of Buddhism that through internal meditation, immortality can be achieved. Above the entrance to the monastery, the name of the temple was done in exquisite calligraphy by Kangxi, a 19th century emperor of China. The name of the Shaolin Temple is formed by three Chinese characters, Chao, Lin, Ci. Shao comes from the location of the Songsan Mountains. Lin comes from the Chinese word for tree, and Ci is the word for temple. So in English, the translation of Shaolin Ci would be the temple in the forest on the Songsan Mountain. The Shaolin Temple is viewed by the Chinese as the birthplace of all Kung Fu. In the 1500-year history of the temple, the interest in Buddhism has fluctuated. In the Tang Dynasty, 1300 years ago, 2,000 monks were in attendance. Today, the Shaolin Temple has a population of only 80 monks. This stonecutter works today as his ancestors did thousands of years ago, using the traditional methods to restore the original temple site. The first Shaolin Temple was destroyed by fire during the Qing Dynasty. Over the centuries, the temple was repeatedly destroyed and rebuilt due to the political and secular affiliations of the abbots to the emperors and warlords of the region. These alliances also resulted in the commingling of different techniques by those who came to the temple seeking political sanctuary or martial arts skills. Su, Da, Jing, Gon are the four gods that protect the Shaolin Temple from evil spirits. George Xu, the executive advisor to the United States martial arts team, was able to arrange an audience with the abbot of the Shaolin Temple, his #1 student, and an elderly senior monk to discuss the history of Kung Fu as it related to the temple.
So next one we probably will demonstrate the Kung Fu, and they also will show some Shaolin Kung Fu for us. So it's like I tell them that's a cultural exchange between the two countries. So we invited by the China Wu Shu Association. So this time is by the cultural exchange between the two countries, just by the people.
The abbot of the temple, who is wearing a saffron-colored robe and sitting in the center, is 78 years old. He has been a monk at the Shaolin Temple for 70 years. Master So Se Cho performs the Chung Mo fist set from the Korean Tae Kwon Do system. This monk is demonstrating the Da Hung system. In English, Da Hung means big red fist. The meaning of this is that as he punched you, the red would come out. The red they referred to was the opponent's blood. Da Mo made his visit to the temple, he found the monks in poor physical condition. He sat in meditation for 9 years, facing a wall. It is said that his qi was so strong that the wall is discolored and remains so till this day as a result of the energy directed on the place where his shadow fell. As a result of his meditation, he wrote the I Kin King, a group of exercises used to this day by these monks to increase their energy and circulation. He also instructed them in the 18 Buddha Lohan palm techniques and Shi Sui Jing massage. We have slowed this set to half speed to observe more easily the fluidity and flexibility of this monk's performance. The temple is a community in which each monk has his particular function, which is determined by his own nature. Some will be cooks, others gardeners, or teachers of Buddhist philosophy or the martial arts. Each performs the duty to which he is best suited, as well as participating in the whole.
The visitors, and especially the monks at the temples, seem to really enjoy the sparring match put on by the American team. Going to the Shaolin Temple is the dream for many martial artists. To me, it was my trip to Mecca. To also have the rare opportunity to perform for the most senior monks was a highlight of my life.
You know, for years, looking at the Kung Fu movies and reading about China and the Shaolin Temple, you know, I wondered, would I ever get to see, you know, one of these temples or the Shaolin Temple as the way it was portrayed in the book. So that was just, that was one of my highlights, and being able to see the monks perform, and that's something, a rarity. Tourists were constantly rolling through this place.
But you know something about going over to the Shaolin Temple, we could have done that on our own. We wouldn't have been able to see what, or had the opportunity to actually exchange the communication in the chambers, hadn't it been for our hosts.
Exactly.
I mean, that is prime. That is something that it's not going to go away.
Just seeing the monks. Many people, there are thousands of tourists go through there weekly, and they never get to see the monks, let alone see them perform. You know, to have the monks actually perform.
Or have the opportunity to perform for them too.
Right, exactly. So that was definitely a highlight, because I personally just wanted to visit the Shaolin Temple, to be able to see the performance, to have them actually exchange with me, and give me an opportunity to perform for them. That was exciting.
One of the most famous treasures of the Shaolin Temple is called the Wu Xing Chuan, or the 5 animal fists. Each Chuan was named after the animal best exemplifying its attributes. Each originally had only 6 postures. At the present time, however, there are over 100. Having mastered these 5 Chuan, many variations can be developed. The original Chuan are Dragon, for training attention and spirit and emphasizing lightness and change; Tiger, strengthening the bones; Leopard, practicing the application of force; the Snake, practicing inner breathing, becoming sensitive and active; and the Crane, for training concentration, stability, and accuracy.
Here Master Cho demonstrates some breaking techniques. First his hands and then his feet. These triple kiln bricks are 3 times as strong as American red bricks.
This is Shaolin 6.
This monk is demonstrating the Damo cane set. Individual monks that wish to specialize in Kung Fu training must pass rigorous standards. This training consists of learning 24 open hand sets, 22 staff, 15 spear, 18 broadsword, and 11 double-edged sword, 28 special weapons, as well as pressure point and joint locking techniques. An extremely proficient student might then be invited to study the Lo Han Fist, which is comprised of 18 sets, 3 sections each. Each set has a different flavor, such as the Angry set, the Sleepy set, and the Drunken set. The Drunken set is one of the most difficult because it requires internal body conditioning to protect against the elaborate gymnastic falls required by the style. When the monks mastered these forms, they were allowed to choose one of 72 techniques in which to become proficient. This is a unique type of highly specialized Kung Fu. Some examples are iron body, iron groin, or standing on one finger. After the demonstration, we asked the monk if he could show us the famous Shaolin training hall. This building is over 1,000 years old, and the depressions in the floor are made as a result of thousands of monks practicing their various martial arts forms over a period of hundreds of years. There is also a mural which depicts a famous event in the history of the temple when the emperor's brother came for a visit and they performed for him. We were told that the mural is repainted every 80 years. Throughout its stormy 1,400-year history, through the country's sweeping political and sociological changes, the one thing that has been consistently maintained at this temple is its devotion to the high quality and secret wisdom of its Kung Fu. As a result, there can be no doubt that this is an incredible repository of martial arts history and expertise. This is the home, the primary source of all martial arts. On the road leaving the temple, as 2 trains passed on the trestle, one couldn't help think that this journey was not unlike the passing of these 2 trains. The American and Chinese cultures crossed each other for a moment, and were able to observe and learn from one another through cultural exchange. Leaving China, no one could forget the memorable experience they had had there. They hoped that the Chinese that they had interacted with would have had as positive an experience as themselves. The friendships made in China will be treasured. And as a result of people coming together and meeting one-to-one, it was felt that somehow all had participated in bringing a little more peace into the world through communication with peoples from different lands. On the team's final night in China, their hosts, the Beijing Wu Shu Team, invited them to a banquet in the dining room of the Dowager Empress of the Qing dynasty. This banquet was one of the most elaborate that they had had of any of the banquets in China.
Mr. Wai would like to toast to the friendship set up between the people of China and the people of the United States and the people among the martial arts circles of both countries. He wants to toast, have a toast to all of us, wishing such activities last forever.
I wanted to express openly, I hope I can get the proper translation, that I think I speak for all the members here by listening at their comments, that I use myself as an example. I've studied the martial arts for almost 20 years, and it's always a dream to go to the motherland of the art that you've been studying. And it took me almost 20 years to get here. And it's priceless, the feeling that I have received by being able to say that I've come to develop a relationship with the motherland of the martial arts.
他的感受是非常非常的非常的快乐满意。他觉得呢，他一生人之中呢，最愉快的就是这一次回到家的里面一样。
Like a child that never saw his mother.
好像以前呢，好像一个小孩子从来没有见过他的母亲一样，天天就是做梦也想，所以他当梦想。Welcome to come back again. Chicken.
Thank you very much.
我们再相见，友谊天长地久，干杯！干杯！
Madame France said that tomorrow you're going to leave, and she feels very sad that we have to leave, but hopefully that our leaving is a very abbreviated, short thing, and then in the future, in the very, very near future, that she will meet all of you again.
I'll be back in next year.
どうもありがとう。ありがとうございます。谢谢你。
There is a short trailer following with a few samples of the more than 50 tapes in the China's Living Treasures series. They contain both instructional and demonstrational titles. Various styles of Tai Chi basic training and demonstrations of famous masters are but a few of the topics covered. For further information, write to us at the address on the screen or go to the website located at onehand.com. China's Living Treasures is a series dedicated to the preservation of the traditional martial and internal arts of China. There are demonstrational as well as instructional titles. Demonstrations include weapons, open hand forms, and different styles of Tai Chi Chuan performed by the most famous masters of China. Instructional titles are available on Tai Chi Chuan, Xing Chuan, Qigong, and general health exercises useful to non-martial artists as well as practitioners. Aside from their obvious archival value, the performances on these tapes represent the best examples of martial arts in China today.
Volume 21, Dragon Pa Kwa Chang Part 2 features Master George Shu performing the last 4 palms of the 8-palm Dragon Pa Kwa Chang set. The Tiger Palm, the Eagle Palm, the Unicorn Palm, the Chicken Palm, and form applications. This is the companion tape to China's Living Treasures Volume 12, Dragon Pa Kwa Chang. Volume 22 and 23 feature 67-year-old Master Ye Xiao Long of Shanghai performing Yang-style Tai Chi Chuan. In Volume 22, Master Ye covers basics and the first half of the Yang-style 108-movement long form. In Volume 23, Master Ye demonstrates some advanced stretching techniques and the remaining half of the long form. With 60 years of martial art experience, the vitality of Master Ye at his age is inspirational. All styles of Tai Chi Chuan practice push hands. In Volume 24, Master George Shu demonstrates basic principles of push hands training with a student. He then follows a demonstration of 2-man training routines with Master Ye Xiao Long of Shanghai. Volume 25, the sword form, is Part 7 of the Chen Tai Chi Chuan series. Master George Shu demonstrates the form, basics, form repetition, and applications of the Chen style Tai Chi Chuan sword form. Volume 26 features the Dragon Gate system of Qigong. These 900-year-old Taoist standing meditation wellness exercises require no prior martial art experience to practice and provide beneficial results to people of any age. Dr. Gordon Shu is the 22nd generation Grand Master of this system.
Volume 37 through 43 feature Master Lu Gui Rong of Shanghai teaching both the Yang family style and Wu Hao style of Tai Chi Chuan. Volume 37 is devoted to Yang style Tai Chi basics, with 10 basic fundamental exercises and drills on the 8 gates of Tai Chi: Peng, ward off, An, push, Ji, press, Lu, roll back, Zai, pull down, Lei, split, Cow, shoulder, and Jiao, elbow strike. The principles covered are applicable to both form and push hands practice. Volumes 38 to 40 are devoted to instruction on the 108 movement Yang family style long form. The form repetition segment on each volume focuses on one of the 3 sections of the form. There are also demonstrations of the entire 108 movement form, and the individual sections are performed continuously by Master Lu. Volumes 41 through 43 cover the 4 sections of the 96 movement Wu Hao Tai Chi long form, as derived from Hao Shao Ru of Shanghai. Volume 41 contains the complete long form with form repetition segments on the first section. Volume 42 contains form repetition on sections 2 and 3. Volume 43 covers section 4 and concludes with a demonstration of the entire form. These are only a few of the titles available in the series. For more information on other topics, go to our website located at